Hi everyone, Pete Sartes for The Lawyer You Know. We are back again talking about the Tristyn Bailey case. We've been following this case for a while. Just to recap for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, there was a young girl, she was 13 years old, from St. Johns County here in Florida, which is basically Jacksonville. And they found her body with about 114 stab wounds. In the basic search for who killed Tristyn Bailey, a young boy that's 14 years old by the name of Aiden Fucci, was identified as a suspect. He has been arrested. He has been bound over, meaning they're going to try him as an adult. And he's been in the court system now for a few months, and things are starting to happen. Last time we were here, I made a prediction. And the prediction was, I'm guessing at some point there's going to be a defense of either insanity or the inability to stand trial. So he's either not guilty by reason of insanity, or they're going to say he's insane, therefore he can't be tried. Well, here's what happened. September 1st of this year, Aiden had his first pretrial. The pretrials, just because of COVID, have been done through the jail by video conference. So what wound up occurring was, while they're waiting for the judge and the lawyers, everybody to get together to start the hearing, Aiden is seen inside of the jail in the video conference room, and he appears to be out of it. He's talking about demons in his head, and he doesn't know where he is or what he's talking about or what's going on. Let's go ahead and roll the clip so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
What you got going on? I don't want to hate you demons. I don't want to hate you demons take my soul. You demons want to take my soul away. I don't want you demons take my soul. I don't know what's going on. What am I in here? I've seen you before. What's going on? What you got going on? Why am I here? I just want to talk about my own life. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Checking restricted trade.
They're both.
I found the whole area in exchange. What you got going on? I don't want to hate you demons. I don't want to hate you demons take my soul. You demons want to take my soul away. I don't want you demons take my soul. I don't know what's going on. What am I in here? I've seen you before. What's going on?
Okay, so Because of some technical difficulties, I understand, that hearing did not actually go forward. So what they did was they've rescheduled that hearing for October 7th of 2021. Now, from a lawyer's perspective, and I'll share with you, and we've talked about this before, I've actually had a not guilty by reason of insanity case, which is frankly 1 in a million of types of defenses that are actually successful. So I'm looking at this, and here's what's going through my head. The lawyers, his lawyers at this point, are going to have no choice. If they believe that he is not competent to be able to stand trial, and there's a legal definition to this, it is, does he understand the charges against him? Does he understand that this is an adversarial process, meaning the police and the prosecutor are not his friends? Does he understand the possible penalties against him? And is he capable of assisting in a valid defense? If he can't do all that, he is not competent to stand trial. And I want to make it clear, we're not saying he's not guilty by reason of insanity. That's a completely different discussion for a later time. But just, is he competent to proceed right now? Again, I think the lawyers are going to have no choice but to either have him evaluated or file a notice to the court expressing their concern based on this videotape. So what happens? If the lawyers file something, and I'll just share with you, today is September 7th of 2021. Nothing's been filed yet, but I presume something's going to get filed in the court file here soon that says, hey, Judge, we have reason to believe that Aiden Fucci is not competent to be able to go forward. What's going to happen is this. The court is going to have to appoint no less than 2 experts to evaluate Aiden. Those 2 or 3 experts normally is what it is, meaning a defense expert, the state's expert, and the independent judge's expert. Normally 2 or 3 of those folks will evaluate Aiden independently. And they will make a determination about the following things. Number 1, does he suffer from mental illness? And if he does, is he capable of being brought back to some sort of competence so that he can go forward? What does the timing of that look like? What would be involved in having him come back to competence? Now, if all the experts see him and they all agree that he is competent and that he's what we call malingering, which is the legal technical term for faking it, nothing happens. We keep going forward and the court case proceeds. But if one of those 2 or 3 experts indicates that he may be incompetent, then the court's got some options. A, the court can talk to the parties and to see if they stipulate, meaning if the state attorney's office and the defense lawyers agree to have Aiden go to the state hospital to see if he can be rehabilitated and brought back to competence. Option 2 is the court can have a hearing to make that exact same determination. Or number 3, the court can appoint no more than 2 additional experts to evaluate Aiden and then have a hearing, or see if the parties then stipulate to whether he should be committed for purposes of getting his competence back. Now, let's just be clear. If you are deemed incompetent to stand trial, that doesn't mean they hand you the keys to the jail and you go home. Oh no, my friends. What it means is you now go to the state hospital for Florida, that's Chattahoochee, and you will stay there until you're able to be brought back to competence, meaning you're in the mental psych hospital for the state. And you're there until the doctors there have determined that you understand the proceedings against you, you understand the adversarial nature of it, you can help in your defense, all the stuff I mentioned before. At which point, they send you back to continue with the proceedings. My clients that have been involved in these types of proceedings will tell you that the state hospital is far worse than jail. At least jail, you've got some general rights. You get to go out to rec for an hour a day. The food's decent, you get to watch TV. The state hospital apparently is not that way, and everybody that is there is, for all intents and purposes, crazy or acting crazy. So it's a very difficult environment. I understand that it's very loud. There's always screaming and hollering, just weird things going on. If, in fact, they send him to the state hospital, and if he's not malingering, and if he is malingering, meaning he is making it up, I promise you, very quickly, he'll be back because he'd rather be in jail than at the state hospital. Now, if he's not malingering and they can't bring him back to competence, this is indefinite. He could stay at the state hospital for the rest of his life. If they do bring him back to competence, back to court. And I've seen this in some cases. I haven't had personal experience of it, but people go in and out of competence because what does competence really mean? The doctors give you medication. The medication brings you back to be able to understand what's going on around you. You get the medication, stay hospital, you're fine, you go back, you don't get your medication, you digress back to not being competent. And there are people that are stuck in this cycle of competent, incompetent, competent, incompetent, and they spend years just going back and forth from the state hospital to the court system. So at this point, that's kind of where we are. What I expect is going to happen is we're going to see that soon. A motion filed, some sort of hearing or some sort of stipulation regarding his competence. I don't know if they're going to find him competent to stand trial at this point, or if they're not, we'll see what the doctors determine. But I'll tell you, based on the video surveillance footage, I think it's going to come into play. They're going to consider it. The doctors are going to talk to him, and they're going to make professional decisions. We'll find out more as things happen. We will keep you posted. If you like this video, click like. If you like this content, hit subscribe. Let us know if you have any questions about this. Put it in the comments section, and we'll see if we can answer those questions for you later.
Thanks for watching this episode of The Lawyer You Know. If you like this content, please share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe to our page and like our videos. If you want some interaction, get in the comments and we'll be sure to get back to you. If you want to know any more information about our firm or this page, you can find out in the description or visit tragoslaw.com. We post multiple times throughout the week, so make sure you hit that bell so you can get the notification and not miss out on the next episode.